I'm convinced that there was a time in my life when I truly heard the call of God calling me to priesthood. It wasn't a human voice, or it wasn't something extraordinary. In fact, it was something quite simple and ordinary. It was a desire within me to serve God and a desire to give my life to God. But now when I reflect back on my own calling, I discover that there was an unfolding plan happening in my life, God's unfolding plan. When I think back of those who, through their prayer and through their influence, brought me to an understanding of priesthood and brought me to saying my yes to God to become a priest. I remember one time meeting an older woman who said to me, "When you were in secondary school, I often prayed that you would become a priest." I was amazed. I never knew this woman was praying for me. She said, "I often prayed because I knew how important it was that we would have priests. And also," she said, "I saw something in you that I thought, he might be a priest." And when I look back and see my own calling, the influence of my parents in their prayer, in their faith life, the influence of other priests in my parish, and again being involved in youth work, in youth clubs, being involved in different choirs, being involved in different aspects of church life, brought me to the realization that maybe God is calling me to be a priest. My yes to God very much was a yes knowing that it wouldn't be easy, that there would be difficulties and struggles, and indeed there were. But in those difficulties and struggles, knowing that if this is what God wanted me to do, God would be with me in the doing. And that's why I am a priest today. I would say to any man who's thinking about priesthood, yes, think about it seriously. This is a great time to be a priest. Never before, perhaps in the history of the church or even in the history of the world, is there a need for men to come forward and give their lives to God. Never before in the history of the church and the world is there a need for men who by the witness of their lives will give hope to all people. We're living in a time of hopelessness when people are searching for hope. And they're looking to the church and they're looking to priests to find that hope. And thankfully and thank God they are. Now is a good time to become a priest, and I would encourage any man to come forward and present themselves for priesthood. And again, in presenting themselves through discernment, in finding out if this is what God is asking of them to do. If it is, it's a great life, an extraordinary life, but an extraordinary life lived in an ordinary way. The service of God is at the service of people. It's bringing God to all people in word and in action. I would encourage any man and say, yes, come forward. Come and see what it's like. Come and look at priesthood and discover for yourself if it's for you. And if it's for you, then in giving your life to God, you're going to live an extraordinary life.